And we live in a very judgmental, very, very judgmental society where no one is going to say, oh, well, she has repented now. This if this thing comes out, you'll be amazed at the kind of opinion even your family would come and say, oh, so because of polygyny, that's why you got into this. May Allah forgive her sins. May Allah rectify her affairs. May Allah make it easy for her to shut this down completely, and may Allah ease this polygyny for her. And may Allah not test us with what she has been tested with. But subhanallah, let's be honest with ourselves, dear sisters. There is patience and there is patience. There is a patient, feasibility human being, feasibility society. Let me just say, and then you are remaining in that marriage and doing things you shouldn't do. And then there is the beautiful patient, feasibility where you are staying and doing the right things you should do because you do not want to harm your soul. So if you do not have the capacity of this beautiful patience in polygyny, forget the noise of the society and seek whole honorably than getting involved into things that you understand will put you in a situation like this. When we say that polygyny is not copable by all women, not every woman would be able to cope healthily with polygyny. People will think, no, that should be an iman issue because why can't you cope? It's halal, so you should be able to cope. The fact that it's halal and permissible doesn't automatically turn women to robots. And women have different capacities to handle these issues. There are women who has lost themselves, all in the name of their husbands took another wife. There are women who have even left Islam altogether. There are women who they are still in the marriage, but they are now shadows of themselves. Just trying to stay because they fear that, oh, what would the society say should they leave their marriage and say, oh, it's because of polygyny, especially how we market polygyny, the acceptance of polygyny as though something that has to do with iman. If you cannot cope with it, something is wrong with your iman, which is not true. Because if that is the case, then there wouldn't have been even the permission. If she realizes that she cannot cope, that permission to seek whole. But we, the floor members, no. The scholars have spoken, but no. The Prophet has even given a woman the permission to seek whole from her husband when she felt she could no longer cope with the unattractiveness. But in our own time, no, everything is iman. No, you don't have iman. That is why. That is why you want to leave. The detriment that this polygyny causes some women who have forced themselves to stay, not because of Allah, but because of what people will say, is terrible, is deep and large. You see some women now even still staying in the marriage, they tell you, I can no longer offer this man intimacy. So each time the man asks, they turn him down. Subhanallah, and we know the consequence of something like that. That you shouldn't for no reason or for the reason of, yes, you took another wife, so I no longer want to have anything to do with you intimately. You cannot decide this. But women are deciding it now and we think it's okay because, the man took another wife. Assess your situation. If you are able to cope healthily or it's still hard, but realize that as each day passes by, it's getting better. It's never going to be perfectly easy, but to a point where you can manage it, then stay and keep praying and trying that Allah makes it easier for you. But if you have stayed and really you have done everything you should within your capacity as human to make it easy to enjoy, to manage it, but you realize you are losing yourself, you're becoming down and disconnected from yourself, from your spirituality, is affecting you in ways that you can no longer function. Subhanallah. No. You can no longer give your man his rights. You can no longer even give your kids their rights. You can no longer even take care of yourself. I am not one to come here and say, oh, stay there like that. Now, this sister said, Dear Shamsuddin, my husband recently took another wife. I was truly heartbroken because he promised me monogamy. And in my lonely period, a male friend slowly crept into my life. He would chat me up every night after my husband traveled home for his wedding. And slowly, I started getting attached to his midnight chats and will quietly wait for him to text me. My husband didn't return early, and that distraction he gave me really helped me cope during these trying moments. When my husband finally returned, and he didn't really change and was trying his best to remain a good man, I started feeling guilty for falling for another man. So I wrote the guy that I was quitting. He sure knows me better and find his way to make me stay in the relationship again. Each time I try to break off, I get faced with some issues that comes with polygamy and I run back to my distraction instead of finding solution or coping mechanisms. This relationship blossomed until we started phone sex. Now I truly want to end it. I hate myself each time I remember allowing him see my intimate parts. I am truly ready to call it quits. I feel the guilt every day. It goes against my principles, and not that my husband is perfect to make me stop, but I fear meeting my creator. How do I break it off without relapsing and going back to find solace in the guy again? And the guilt I also feel whenever my husband comes around. Do I let him know this happened? He trusts me so much, he would never believe I can go to that extent. How do I get rid of the guilt? How do I forgive myself? I feel worse than how the polygamy made me feel back then. Subhanallah, this question was asked, and as expected, people will come with their different opinions and different, advice and all of that. Number one, starting with this situation, the narration, this submission here. Men, please stop promising monogamy if you cannot offer monogamy. Subhanallah. We all agree that all men won't practice monogamy. We know. And we also must agree that not all women can cope with polygyny. So if a woman clearly lets you know that she is not one for polygyny, please seek another woman's hand in marriage. Don't say, oh, no problem, is monogamy. I'm not going to practice polygyny. Only for you to come and decide to practice the polygyny, then you come up with text of, oh, you cannot make halal haram, it's permissible, I promise I'll do. No, she knew all of that before, that you have the capacity, the right, the privilege, the permission to practice polygyny if you are capable. She knows that when she said she preferred monogamy. So if you cannot offer it, please don't promise it. If you even doubt that you'll be able to hold on to monogamy, just say, I may practice polygyny. So that those kind of women who vehemently don't want to be involved in polygyny would leave and seek those men who are upon monogamy by choice. Now, that is actually the beginning of this issue, that promise that you're going to offer her monogamy, something you at some point now you can't. Now, the second thing that we should address here is her male friend returned or slowly, walked into her life at this time, at this hour that this man is going to be away on a matter that hurts her. You see the way Shaitan does these things. Unfortunately, it's now at this time where she's hurting, she needs her man, she's breaking, she's feeling betrayed, disappointed, lied to. And coincidentally, the time the man had also traveled to go for the wedding arrangement of the new wife, that this male friend walked in, or should I say, crawled in to her life and suddenly started to give the needed succor, the needed attention. Subhanallah. Shaitan just doesn't give up, right? Now, from this narration and the way this person feels guilty, she said she feels even hurt than even the polygyny. She's hurt now, more hurt, by what she's currently doing than even the pain of the polygyny. Subhanallah, may Allah is this for her. May Allah guide her towards the right steps to take so she comes out of this, to be honest. Now, this has happened. And slowly it got worse. She started to get used to this strange guy who, of course, will be the Mr. Perfect because the grass is always greener on the other side. This man came back and he's still a good man to her. However, she had already started falling or had fallen in infatuation or situation with the strange guy. So now we blame the man for promising monogamy, but even away from that, this man is trying his best to be the best he can be now in polygyny. Yet this woman is already gone with another person. I made a video where I talk about cheating, men cheating, and I say we tend to say men cheat more, or even that it's men who cheat because we limit everything to physical. When it comes to online cheating, the men are domineering in the physical cheating space, the women are domineering in the online cheating space. I tell you this. So, cheating is happening both online and offline. To this man now, because she said the man trusts her so much that she could never do something like this, this woman is already having her nudity shared with another man on digital space via a digital means. So there is already some sort of polyandry going on here. Yes, because this man has a wife and she has an assistant husband now. She wants out. She wants out. And this also is concerning because some of these kind of men, like that strange guy who was suddenly available and kept finding ways to bring her back because he knows her weakness now, kept finding ways to bring her back into the situationship. This kind of person can be very deadly, honestly. By the time she breaks off totally, we do not know how many or how much of her nakedness he had seen. We do not know if he is capable of blackmailing her to make her continue this inappropriate escapade. So there is just a lot at stake, at risk here. This is us even thinking about the possible consequences that could drag her down. Alhamdulillah, Allah gave her the grace, the rahmah, for her to feel guilty, fisabilillah, and wants to rectify issues. She mentioned, she said, the man is not perfect enough for her to say she wants to stop. Like, maybe she wants to stop because of her husband. No, she's still having issues that polygyny came with. She's still dealing with issues that polygyny came with. But she wants to stop it because of Allah. Now, if this kind of woman had known her weakness and say, I wouldn't want to be challenged, I wouldn't want to be tested with this, we will say, no, it's an Iman issue. She does not have Iman. So many times we think when a woman is open to polygyny means that she has a secure Iman. Sometimes it is actually even that polygyny that we break her Iman, that we test her Iman. Subhanallah. It's scary in a way because it could be anyone, to be honest. It could be anyone. But please, sisters, let's all understand that it's usually when there is an issue, you'll see Shaitan sending the wrong people your way, people who would drag you down. But Shaitan will decorate it like it's a solution, it's what you need. Meanwhile, it's exactly what you should flee from. Let's be conscious, please, of those moments, might not even be polygyny, of those moments when we have issues with our spouses, and all of a sudden, that is when you become attractive to the opposite gender. You're like, I'm still this desirable. Don't give in. It's usually a trick from Shaitan. This is sad because another thing that makes this sadder is the fact that it looks like, shady man self got another woman, and you too, you got another man. But when we bring it to the religious aspect, this man has not done anything haram by, legally marrying another wife. But we do know that they are meant to honor the agreement. Now that he has not honored it, the woman can seek khul if she feels she cannot cope. These are the options we have. Now, there is now another option that has been created, and it's anti-Islam, which is this bringing this man into the picture who is providing succor, and now there is a situationship that has even involved the scene of her privacy. Now, this man is enjoying his two wives, and you are accumulating sin. Even at the point where you are willing to repent now, you have consequences that could be blown up and make this thing very disastrous. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.